Well, joining me now is Anthony Harper, a Christian journalist who covers the White House for the InterMountain Christian News Service. Anthony, thanks for joining me.
Oh, you're welcome. It's great to join you.
Well, isn't it pretty rare for a Christian publication to weigh in on presidential politics and go so far as to call for the president to be ousted from office? It seems like a new level.
Well, it is rare for a Christian publication to actually call for the removal of a president or any leader. We often see Christian news agencies or Christian publications talking about political matters. Of course, we cover political information in our newspaper, but never have called for someone's removal.
But aren't Christians supposed to be forgiving and prayerful and not condemning?
Oh, of course. I mean, we're not here to condemn. You know, we see as Christians there's only one judge in this matter, that the only one that condemns from a Christian perspective that is Christ, the one that does the judgment here. And we are called to pray for those who we're in disagreement with. You know, thinking about looking back to President Obama's administration, there are many Christians praying for him, even though they didn't appreciate his policies. They were on a regular basis praying for him. And so we have really challenging issues. I think this is going to really set a precedence about people's concerns about Christian publications, and I have had concerns myself personally about Christianity Today for the last 10 years or more. And you know, Franklin Graham spoke out very strongly about this issue, leaning more to the left, and I have concerns that it being leaning to the left with having very questionable teachers or recommendations in there. Right. And Franklin Graham made it very clear today in his Facebook post his concern seriously about Christianity Today, and that his father would not approve of this behavior.
So what about the added pressure, though, that the op-ed put on Christian followers of President Trump, telling them, and I'm paraphrasing here, to remember who they are and how they'll justify their support when they go before the Lord? I mean, that's unlike what we've seen before, right, from a Christian publication?
Oh, yes. A very serious move forward here. Now, you know, President Trump has weighed in on this matter, very clear. And I was hoping to meet with President Trump this week at the White House about this matter, especially today. But I did get to meet with Hogan Gidley, President's Deputy Press Secretary, for a private one-on-one interview. We're talking about the impeachment issue. And you know, Franklin Graham made it clear in his Facebook post that, you know, Christianity Today is really clearly aligned with the Democrats in the Congress. And I'm curious whether this editor of Christianity Today, his name is Mark Galley, if he is in the Democrat camp himself. Right. That would be interesting to know where he's coming from on that matter. But
let me ask you about this. Do you think that this op-ed had anything to do with this back and forth between President Trump and Congresswoman Debbie Dingell of Michigan, with Trump seeming to suggest that her late husband and long-serving Congressman John Dingell is looking up from hell? I mean, take a listen to this.
She calls me up. It's the nicest thing that's ever happened. Thank you so much. John would be so thrilled. He's looking down, he'd be so thrilled. Thank you so much, sir. I said, that's okay, don't worry about it. Maybe he's looking up, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. But let's assume he's looking down.
You think that's the kind of immorality that the op-ed writer might have been referring to?
He could have been, but... you know, clearly, you know, Franklin Graham made it very clear in his Facebook post today that the president is not without sin, that all humans have that problem, and one should not expect a president of the United States to be perfect in any way. And, you know, he made also very clear that the reason people voted for Donald Trump is because that he would be more in line to support their Judeo-Christian values to defend them, and by his behavior, President Trump is doing that. So,
sure.
You know, the Bible talks about that we know them by their fruits.
Right.
Now,
well,
I know that President Trump has been criticized for bad fruit, but he's also been doing a lot of good things as well.
Right. Well, Anthony Harper, Christian journalist with the InterMountain Christian News Service, thanks for joining me. Interesting discussion for sure.